Hey, everybody. We've got our special guest, Andrew Staples from the Escape Pod with us to talk about the finale of the Shin show. Ahsoka. Welcome to Two Geeks and a Microphone.
Welcome to the Two Geeks and a Microphone podcast, your one-stop shop for television, movie, video games, comic books, book reviews, and more. Now, without further ado, here's Steven and Mike.
Well, hello there, everyone. Welcome to Two Geeks and a Microphone. I am your co-host, Mr. Stephen Boster, along with the one, the only, the most illustrious Mr. Michael Shanks. Mike, say hey to everybody.
Good morning to all you geeks out there in Geekdom Land.
And who is this with us today? I'm so excited for today.
We have the president of the Shin Hottie fan club with us.
Yes!
Mr. Andrew Staples of the Facebook group, The Escape Pod, which we frequent.
We do, by golly. Andrew, thank you so much for joining us.
Well, thank you for having me. I haven't done any podcasting in almost 2 years. The Spider-Man No Way Home recap I did on a show I had one time. That was the last time I did anything, so I've been looking forward to this.
Oh, we're excited to have you. I will say this, and I'll tell everybody, I have thoroughly enjoyed your posts on the Escape Pod about the Shin Hottie show.
Well, luckily we didn't see her demise in this first season.
If that happened, I would still be curled up in a corner somewhere.
Well, hey, everybody, we are going to be talking about the finale of Ahsoka. And not only will we be talking about that, there's a lot to talk about, but just overall impressions of the show as well. And so I'm pretty excited about that. So, but first, let's roll into our geeky news and geekdar.
Okay. Well, we have no geeky news today. I just haven't found anything really worthy to share on the show. So we're going to skip geeky news and go right into geekdar.
Control the radar, sir.
What's wrong with it?
I've lost the bleeps, I've lost the sweeps, and I've lost the creeps.
The what?
The what?
And the what?
You know, the bleeps, the sweeps, and the creeps.
That's not all he's lost.
Yeah, and people say the same about us. All right, who wants to go first for their geekdar?
I will go first. So everybody knows that we had the old Mr. Eric July from the Rippaverse on, and he had a special deal on the website that Mike sent to me. So I have here, dun dun dun, from the Rippaverse.
Oh, you're gonna do an opening for us?
What?
Awesome. Look at that.
Look at this packaging. Everybody, it's if you're listening to the audio version, I am unboxing the cardboard portion of the packaging, which is, really you're paying for this packaging too when you get it, but that's okay. But I got ISOM 1.
Nice.
Now I've not read it yet, but boy, this thing's heavier than I thought.
Yeah. It's a pretty big book. Yeah.
So I'm pretty excited about it. I'm actually ramping up. I'm actually really interested in Alpha Core. So as he's getting ready to start that campaign here pretty soon, I'm kind of getting ramped up for it. So if you've not had a chance to check out the Rippaverse, I encourage everybody to do so. That was by far our most viewed show and on YouTube, and he was great. If you have not heard that interview, please go and listen to that, watch that. We get started, he comes in a little bit later, and we get started about 20 minutes in, I think, with him,
right?
And he comes in, so if you get a chance to watch that, really, really interesting, very interesting.
And so far, I've liked both ISOM 1 and 2. And like you said, I'm looking forward to Alpha Core, which will be his next campaign. And then his campaign for Winter will be Yaira. And I'm really excited about Yaira. I want to find out more about her. She's pretty intriguing to me, because she just kind of pops in and then pops out. And it's like, who was that? I want to know more.
Best man.
Right. So yeah, I'm looking forward to that. All right. Andrew, you got a Geek Dar for us?
Yeah, I've got the Darth Vader Duel's End battle damage figure from the Obi-Wan Kenobi show. Just came out last Monday. And look forward to opening that up. You can see Hayden Christensen's face pretty good in that. So
nice.
And then I got this just came yesterday. It was a letter from the lady that plays Shin's lawyer, saying that I can come to any event that she is at, but I have to be 100 feet away and can only wave. But this letter will go great with my letter from Daisy Ridley's lawyer, Taylor Swift's lawyer, and Elizabeth Olsen's lawyer. So that's going to go up on my wall. I'm really looking forward to that.
Can we call you Andrew the Stalker?
No, those are fan mails. He got
fan mail from
letters.
Please stay at least 150 feet away.
I know one of my friends had tagged me on Facebook the other day, and like, some of the actors are going to be at this thing in California. Like, you want to go? And I'm like, yeah, if it wasn't so far, maybe. But
well, if they didn't have a restraining order on me.
Yeah.
I love it. Okay.
Gosh.
So my Geekdar, I watched episode 1 of season 2 of Loki last night.
Okay.
I am in.
Really?
Yes.
Really?
I like season 1. I thought season 1 was good, but I really think you should watch episode 1 of season 2, and you tell me what you think, because I thought it was great. It was fantastic.
I was going to cancel my Disney Plus subscription because I was like, you only had.
Oh, come on. Yeah. Stop it. You're going to cancel Disney Plus over. Come on.
What?
I packed a lot in that first episode.
Over Loki.
Did they really?
Yeah, I thought Loki was great. I loved it.
So if you had to give it a rating, what would you give it?
This first episode, I'd probably give it 9.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know what I'd use as my scale, but I would go with a 9 on this one. I really enjoyed it. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Andrew, did you see it?
Mm-hmm. I'd give it an 8 or a 9. Yeah, it was. There was a couple. There was one new character that was really, really cool. I won't spoil it.
Yeah, I won't spoil that either. But I was really happy with the new character.
All right.
Yeah. It was worth watching it just for him. I mean, it was
right.
Agreed.
Right.
Agreed. Yep.
I did. I have one other thing for Geekdar.
Okay.
So, wait. So, no, are you done with Loki though? Anything else about Loki you want to share?
No, I just wanted to say that I saw it and I really enjoyed it.
Yep.
I think we should do a wrap up at the end of the season of it.
Okay.
Which
right.
means, Steven, you got an assignment to watch it now.
Oh man.
Of course, see, I also like Sylvie, and
yes.
I'm really excited about what they do with Sylvie. So,
okay,
my daughter Megan doesn't like Sylvie.
Oh, fun!
Sylvie pop, nice.
Okay.
Megan's got a bunch of Loki pops. She's got I don't know how many of Loki. Loki and Harley, I think, are her most.
Megan, how many Loki pops you got?
I don't know off the top of my head.
So that's many, funny. She can't remember.
She can't remember. There's so many.
Although she doesn't have Sylvie.
Yes, I do.
Oh, you do? Mm-hmm. I didn't think you bought Sylvie because you don't like Sylvie.
I like the way she looks.
Sylvie's great. Me too. Wait a minute. Who you like better, Sylvie or Shin?
Well, now it's Sylvie season. So Season 2 of Sylvie.
Season 2 of Sylvie.
Oh, that's hilarious.
Oh, gosh. That is funny. Brenda gave it an 11.
Yeah, I saw that.
Nice. Okay. All right. Okay. Well, speaking of watching stuff, I watched the finale of season 2 of Wheel of Time. And the series was okay, but the finale was really good. Okay. It was really good. The season 2 finale was like finally you led up to something, kind of a thing. So it was good. It did a nice job of tying up some of the storylines from season 2. It does a nice job of leading into season 3. I think they did books 2 and 3 of the Wheel of Time series in the season.
Megan, you pulled that power on.
So anyway, so it was really good. So I quite enjoyed it. So
you pulled the power cord on. I have no sound. We have no sound.
We can hear you, but he can't hear us. So everybody, while they're working on technical difficulties, they're over at the Shanks household. Let's do this. All right, let's move on to I'm very excited, and we are going to move into our main event. So with that being said, here we go. It's time for the main event. Da-da-dun. Time for Ahsoka finale. Ashoka, as my wife would jokingly say.
Sorry about that. Megan pulled the power on our soundboard. So I completely lost sound.
It's all good.
I was going to ask you something real quick, and then I lost sound. So you're talking about, we'll go back to Geek Art for just a second.
Sure.
So you were talking about Wheel of Time.
Yeah.
I got to ask the inevitable. How many Steven skips?
None.
Okay.
None in the finale. None
and just
whatsoever.
To let you know, we've crossed over with Three Geeky Dads, apparently. Because Three Geeky Dads, I'm a little behind on Three Geeky Dads, but I was listening to their episode on Nuke 'Em High, which was a drink that was good, and it was great.
Right.
But in the beginning, they're giving their reviews of it, right? And Derek is like, I have to admit, I used the 10-second skip a lot during this, and Brian, quick on the uptake goes, oh, so you did the Steven skip like our friends over at Two Geeks and a Microphone. I was like, oh, I love it. So apparently we're influencing them over at Three Geeky Dads. I love it.
We have been working on a t-shirt.
Yeah, we need to we need to come up with a graphic for that.
It is. It's in Canva.
Oh, okay. Well, you got to tell me these things, dude.
I don't know. It's okay. I struggle with that. I have to feel like it's perfect before I can release it. And I have to remind myself all the time everything.
What did you tell me?
Done is better than perfect.
We just heard that somewhere too. Brenda and I just heard it.
Did you?
Hear what they said? Yeah. It was something on. Oh, it was a new YouTube channel I discovered on Halloween costume building and stuff like that.
Oh yeah,
really fun. I'll have to get the name of it, and maybe that'll be my Geek Art next week.
That's good.
All right. Ahsoka, or as your wife would say, Ashoka.
All right.
Brendan and I say that every week, by the way.
Do you? Yeah, we do too. Or, actually, my wife, now that Dancing with the Stars is on, we go to our separate corners and watch whatever show we're watching.
Of course, Andrew, he goes on and says, Shin, Hottie.
Right.
No, I'm like, why do they always say the wrong name of the title? Everybody.
Right? I don't get that. What? All right, let's give our ratings, overview ratings. I'm excited about this.
What are we picking for our scale?
Shin lightsabers.
Well, I was kind of thinking zombie troopers, but
that's a good one. That's a good one.
I was thinking Mortis sanctuaries.
We got 3 different ones. Okay, I say we use each of us use our own.
Really?
How's that?
What?
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
We'll go with that.
All right.
We'll start since Andrew's the guest. We'll start with Andrew.
I watched it again last night, and I think I give it a 9. I give 9 because the first time I watched it, something didn't sit totally right with me, but after the second viewing, it really got better. So
I am right there with you, Andrew. Right there.
Interesting. I look forward to hearing about that because we're trying not to do spoiler territory, everybody. We kind of give our overviews just so you know. If this is the first time you're joining us, we thank you so much for being here with us as we crack up. And I love Andrew. I love having you here with us. So
so you give it 9 Shin lightsabers.
Yep.
Okay.
Nice.
All right. Steven.
I give it a good solid 8.5.
Nice.
I give it 8 because the episode was good. I enjoyed it. Still not as good as episodes 5 and 6.
Oh yeah, I agree with that.
But yet the very, very end with Balan Skoll, I was like, oh, I give it the extra 0.5. Almost, maybe I'll give it a full point. I'll give it a 9. I'll give it a 9, full point, because the implications of those scenes, and I'm looking forward to talking about that, are just phenomenal. Great. And I think it proves some of my points that I've made previously in the show. So I'm very excited about talking about it. Okay.
I'm excited to hear that. All right. So, I am a lot like you on my opinion of this, Andrew. When I first watched it, I kind of went, huh? I don't know how I feel about this. In fact, our friend Jeffrey from Nerdery and Murdery messaged me.
Yeah?
Today, and he's like, I think I'm done with Ahsoka.
He has really?
Because it's the end of the season. Yeah, he did not like this episode whatsoever. And I says, and he gave me some reasons and stuff, and I go, okay, I get your frustration. I understand that.
Oh, I can't wait to hear what that was.
Well, we'll be talking to him at the end of this month, so we'll I'm sure he's going to pop in the chat here and there. I would think, because he has been. Anyway, so there are some things that I agree with Jeff on, but I needed to watch a second time, just like Andrew. And after I watched it the second time, I'm like, even though there are some things that bug me, I really like this series. Ahsoka was kind of flat in the beginning for me, but once we got to Ahsoka White, I really liked her a lot better, much more better.
Much more better. Cheers, everybody.
I think Ezra is perfect casting. I mean, man, they got him spot on to the animated. If you've not watched Rebels, go back and watch Rebels. There are some duds throughout the four seasons of it, but there's some really good stuff in there too. And I really like Ezra a lot. So yeah, I think they did a great job at casting him. He was just fantastic. So that's in the plus category. I'm still not sold on this Sabine and the Force stuff. It bugs me. We're missing a part of the puzzle. I know Huang gave us a little piece of that puzzle to help, and it did help a little bit, but I still don't see where Ahsoka sees this ability in her. I don't get it. It just doesn't make sense to me. And there's a disconnect, and it bugs me. So that's my hardest part of this whole series.
Okay.
And then, of course, we got freaking zombie troopers. I mean,
Yes. Spoiler alert.
Zombie troopers. Death troopers.
Totally. When we got that scene, I totally thought about you in that discussion that you had about that book that we had in the previous episode.
Oh, yeah. In fact, there's a moment. There's actually a Sabine moment. I went, yeah. So, all right. So I will give it, since we had zombie troopers. Sorry, spoiler. I'm going to give it 9 out of 10 zombie troopers. After the second watch, the first watch, I probably would have only went 7. But after a good second watch, I was like, yeah, I really like this episode. So it does take a couple watches to get it, it grows on you. Agreed.
I did watch it twice myself. So I'm right there with you guys. First time watching, I was like, okay, that was good. Second time watching, I was like, okay, yeah, all right, yeah, I'll give it more. I think for me, I had such the anticipation because 7 for me, on our last week's show, I was just like, it was just really, this is our penultimate episode. This is our leading into the finale. Yeah, I was like, snooze fest for that type for episode 7. Because 5 and 6 were so good. And I still think those are better than those episodes are better than.
Wait a minute. They were what?
They were much more better. Cheers, everybody.
Oh, by the way, I did say that to Jeff in our chat. Something came up and I said, so you're saying it was much more better? And he went, cheers. I was like, yep, you watch us.
That's awesome.
So yeah, we're influencing people.
I love it.
I don't know if it's good or bad, but we're influencing people.
Right.
All right. So we go into spoiler territory now?
Yes. I'm so excited.
Yes, me too.
All right, everybody. Here's the warning. Whoop, whoop, whoop. We are going into spoilerific territory. Okay. So as we move into spoilerific territory, I just have to ask, what was your guys' favorite part? Spoiler alert, everybody. Spoiler alert.
Oh, that's easy for me. Who's going first? Andrew?
Oh, well, that was it 15 seconds that we saw Shin, but that would be honestly my favorite part of the whole episode was Balan and him standing on the statue. I mean, I was like, they're really going to do this. They're really going to do this. And I was so excited.
Yes. So I right there with you. My favorite part was where he was standing on the statue and the statue was pointing. And, and so let me, I'm not quite ready yet. I'm sitting there trying to prep my pictures for us, and I can't find my other picture.
Pictures, nice.
Yes, I got to make an allusion to that.
Awesome. Well,
I can't find my. There's the main picture I'm trying to find.
Well, you look for that, and so as much as I love that scene, and I love the foreshadowing of what's to come, I absolutely love that. Although it brings a slight dread to me because. The fact that the great Ray Stevenson has passed away, and so we've lost him, and so I'm questioning. I'm like, well, where do we go? Are we recasting? What's going on? I'm at this point. I think you have to recast. I don't see how you can go on with the way they set that up without recasting the role.
Right.
And there's part of me that dreads that because it's like, I don't know if anyone's going to be able to play that role quite like he did. But at the same time, I want it to be played out. I want to see what the story is, that what Filoni has in plan for that character. I think that'll be incredible. Although that wasn't my favorite scene. My favorite scene was the zombies.
Okay.
This is a Star Wars dream come true for me. Ever since I read Death Troopers, I have wanted zombie stormtroopers in live action Star Wars, and I never thought we'd get it. And I thought this was fantastic. Absolutely loved it. I love the green eyes, the reanimation, and just them endlessly coming at him. It was so cool. But my favorite moment, and granted, yes, it's a Sabine Force moment, but when she actually pulls the lightsaber to her, just like Luke Skywalker in Empire Strikes Back, okay? We get that moment where she pulls the lightsaber to her and puts the lightsaber right through the zombie stormtrooper's head. It was freaking Walking Dead in Star Wars, and I absolutely adored it. It was awesome. That was totally wicked.
Wicked. Here we go.
There we go. and even though I'm not big on Sabine and the Force, that moment I went, yes. You learned how to kill him. Good.
Excuse me.
Because you gotta pierce the brain. That's the only way to kill the zombie.
You're so funny.
And that's what we kept saying. You gotta kill them. You gotta destroy their brain. You cut their head off. That's the only way to kill them. Because they kept going for body shots and stuff, and it's like that doesn't work. But they don't know that in this universe. So
right. It would be great if we got as Walking Dead, Walking Zombie, Walking Stormtrooper show.
Give me a one-off movie of Death Troopers, and I will be thrilled. I'll be thrilled. They could do it for a Halloween thing. That would be amazing. And I want action figures. Come on, we gotta have a night trooper action figure with a partially open mask with you see the zombie head inside of it. And I do have to say Rebel Force Radio was right. Jimmy Mack was right when he said the stormtrooper wasn't dead long enough to be decomposed like that.
Oh, the one where we saw the mandible kind of right. Yeah,
which looked great. I mean, come on.
It did look good.
You can't have a zombie stormtrooper not look like that. But at the same time, it's like, okay, were they already dead to begin with? And then, I don't know.
A good call, unless they were already dead. But no, that wouldn't make sense, though, I guess.
Makes sense. So I don't know. I don't care. I that's one of those ones I'll just let it go and I'll just enjoy it for what it is. So
let it go. Let it go.
That was definitely the highlight for me. Love it.
Okay. All right. Oh. Okay.
Hang on a second. Pictures now?
Hang on a second.
I tried to stall long enough to get you some.
I know, and I really appreciate it. Thank you. There. Okay. Here we go, everybody. Okay. So I want to go back to my favorite part, along with Andrew, is I'm going to show you. It's going to be really hard to see in this picture, but I'll explain it to those who are.
It is a great scene. Oh my gosh.
So if you, I'm going to do the entire screen. Here we go. So what I'm sharing, everybody, is a picture of if you are looking out, because I always thought, it's such a nice scene of seeing over Balan Skoll's shoulder, looking at this, this mountain region and stuff.
Yeah, it's a beautiful shot, by the way.
What I missed in the first one, but caught in the second one, it's not going to let me zoom in, but right here, if you see it, you'll see a little itty bitty star or a little itty bitty light.
Yep.
Kind of a thing. Shimmer of light. Now, I went back last night while I was working overnight. It was only me in the store, and so I rewatched the Mortis trilogy.
Oh, nice! I haven't gone back and rewatched it yet.
So it's hard to see this, but it is the Mortis sanctuary with that light at the top. Because I was like, if he's on the Mortis father statue, the Mortis father statue, then I'm like, okay. Now, after rewatching it, though, I was like, well, is it? Because I told everybody, I think it's the son because of the scene that we saw in the first or second. I can't remember which episode it was, but we saw the creature that the sun transforms into, and I kind of confirmed that. So I like, it's got to be the sun. But after watching the Mortis trilogy again and Clone Wars, I was like, well, wait a minute. Did he die? Is he dead? Kind of thing. Did Anakin kill him? Kind of a thing. So, but I still think it's got to be the Mortis Sanctuary. Has to be.
Wait a minute. So you rewatched Mortis? I did
rewatch the Mortis trilogy.
So the father died for sure.
The father died, yes.
The daughter, she died because she gave life back to Ahsoka.
Right.
Because Ahsoka was dying.
Yes.
But then she kind of got transferred into Mirai, the owl, which we've seen in this episode. We've also seen Mirai in I think it was in Boba Fett when we saw Ahsoka. Is either Boba Fett or Mandalorian, I forget which. But we saw her there too, the owl, Mirai. And and then we think Anakin killed the son. So now there's a theory out there. The father wanted Anakin to take his place.
That is correct.
And there's a theory that Anakin has taken his place.
I would, based upon rewatching Mortis and the way the Mortis, it does lend into that theory quite strongly. That is the chosen one's role, is to take the place of the father.
Ooh, I kind of like that. I like the idea of this.
Yeah, you can see this here. Here's the arm of the daughter, but the daughter's kind of gone, kind of a thing. So I say, with the son still being alive, I say the son's alive somehow, some way.
So you think the son is still alive?
I do think the son's alive.
You think Anakin has replaced the father? So
yeah,
I think technically Ahsoka
replaces the daughter. Well, I like that.
Because Ahsoka essentially got part of her essence. You know what I mean? Which is why I think Mirai follows her around, because I think basically Mirai protects Ahsoka in a way, to an extent, almost like a guardian angel type thing. You know what I mean? Yeah.
Yep.
So
agreed.
But the question is, who is calling Balan?
See, I think it's the son.
You think it's the son?
I can't. If they go the Abeloth route,
oh gosh, I hope they don't do that.
I hope they don't. But if they do, that's pretty dark for Star Wars. Even though this was a dark episode, kind of a thing, with the zombie troopers and that kind of a thing. Honestly, even with what they did with Elsbeth.
That's true.
Is a little dark for Star Wars, but I was okay with it. I'm not complaining about it. It was, but I was just like, I don't know if they'll go that far if it's Abeloth. That's why I think it's the son, because I also think that's who we saw was the son's, as Brenda said, spirit animal. The son's transformation. Because when I rewatched Mortis trilogy, I was like, yeah, that's the son. It's got to be the son.
Well, in one part of the episodes, the son turns into a gargoyle and the daughter actually turns into a griffin.
I know, it was so cool.
So the daughter's turned into a griffin, and then later after her death, we believe she turns into Mirai the owl. So I don't know. I don't know what to interpret.
I think it's just great lore that we are getting through Ahsoka, and very excited. I was like, oh my goodness, when the statue of the father was there, I was like, oh, my geekdom just went, oh, I got geeky, what's the word? Goosebumps. Geeky goosebumps.
It's almost like the Star Wars Mount Rushmore in a way.
Right?
Some ways.
Right?
Right.
Yeah. I like that. The Star Wars Mount Rushmore.
Although most people would think of Star Wars Mount Rushmore more as Anakin, Obi-Wan, probably Yoda,
Shin.
I don't know if she gets her place on Mount Rushmore, Andrew.
From a certain point of view, you know.
From a certain point of well played.
Well
nice.
Played. Nice. I love it.
Good. I like that.
So that's my favorite part of the whole episode. I mean,
that was incredible. It really was.
It was a great reveal for the end. Even though I was disappointed that we took this journey, and I was hoping that we would actually see who it was. But I do understand the point of saying, look, this is what next season is going to be about, kind of a thing, is the Mortis, delving into the Mortis mythos, for lack of a better term.
Now, let me give my reason why I don't think Abeloth's coming into us. And then I want us to have a discussion on Heir to the Empire and where we think there's some connections to Heir to the Empire. I have some theories, and I'm dying to find out what Andrew's take is on some of this stuff. So first of all, with Abeloth, the reason I don't believe, and I know all the YouTubers are just, biting at the, chomping at the bit at the whole Abeloth storyline. My thought is, though, Abeloth is not a George Lucas written character whatsoever. And the Mortis gods, the ones, they are 100% George Lucas. I mean, they're George Lucas and Dave Filoni. So I just don't believe Dave Filoni is going to pull in a non-George Lucas into this, item into this story.
I love that. I love that rationale.
So that's my reasoning behind. I don't believe it's Abeloth. And I know everybody's going nuts over the whole Abeloth thing. I think it's too deep a cut for most, especially casual Star Wars fans. There's already been this issue of people don't even understand who Ahsoka is because they didn't watch the Clone Wars. And if they don't know if they don't know who Ahsoka is, they're definitely not going to know this Abeloth and get this Abeloth thing. So, and it's not like you can just go on Disney Plus and watch something about Abeloth, where you can go on Disney Plus and get the Mortis trilogy,
Right.
So
just for the record, everybody, Mortis trilogy is season 3, episode 15, 16, and 17.
Nice. I'm gonna go back. Maybe we'll have to do an episode on just the Mortis trilogy sometime soon, and that'd be fun. All right, so we keep getting Heir to the Empire. I mean, it's thrown around. I don't know how many times. We could probably make a drinking game out of how many times Heir to the Empire has been said during this series. Okay. And it's been well publicized that Dave Filoni is pulling heavily from Heir to the Empire. So I want to know what parallels anyone is seeing. I got a couple thoughts of what I think, because this obviously is not taking verbatim Heir to the Empire. It definitely isn't. But I kind of want to know what you guys think are some parallels in the Ahsoka series to the Heir to the Empire story, and where you think we might be going from here. That was my thought on this whole episode, actually, honestly. And so there is, I kind of think, in a way, the mothers, whatever you call them, the witches. I almost think they represent Seaboth in a way.
Okay.
Because, Seaboth was this insane clone of a Jedi master, and who was a dark Jedi, basically. And he was promised by Thrawn that if he helped Thrawn with his fleet, that he would give him Luke, Leia, and, for that matter, her unborn twins. So that was his entire thing.
Pitch.
Yeah, that was it. So my thinking is the witches are almost Sabaoth. That's okay. What I believe. Right.
I could see that. Yeah, I could see that.
Okay. There are some people who are comparing, and this is where Andrew comes in. There are some people who are comparing Shin Hottie to Mara Jade. I don't know if I quite see that, though. I mean, I kind of get the parallel in a way, but I don't know if I quite see it. And maybe I'm blinded because I'm such a big fan of Mara Jade. She is one of my absolute favorite Star Wars characters. She has been ever since she was introduced in Heir of the Empire in 1991. And so maybe I'm a little biased.
Yeah.
But I'm willing to be talking off the ledge.
Yeah. Andrew, you got any thoughts?
Well, when the Sith, except Balan, I think that's his original name, but like, who's to say Shin doesn't turn to the light side and she said, I'm going to go by my born name or given name, and that's Mara. I mean, that would be pretty wild. I mean, who's to say? We don't know her backstory. Maybe she was at Jabba's sail barge. I mean, they could write that in a book like they did Mara Jade. I think it'd be really cool. I can see the parallels there because the comparisons because it. I mean, she. How Mara Jade was in the books, especially if you read the audio books. She was really kind of standoffish. I mean, wasn't great with people. And you can just tell that with Shin. Besides Balan, she's always uncomfortable around. It seems like everyone she comes in contact with. So.
That's a good point. I didn't think about that. That's actually a really good point because she was very standoffish in the beginning.
She was very scared of the witches. I mean, you always bring that up, and that makes you think that maybe, I don't know, did they have something to do with how she ended up with Balan or something? I don't know. It's going to be really interesting to see if they touch that story.
I have a theory of her and her fear of the witches. I think she's actually one of them.
That could be.
And if she's one of them, I think that pulls her out of the Mara Jade category then. But on the other hand, if she isn't, so Mara Jade, for anyone who doesn't know, Mara Jade was known as the Emperor's Hand. She was the Emperor's secret assassin. Nobody in the Empire even knew she existed. So once the Empire fell, she had to leave. She had no choice, and she joined up with Talon Card's group, which is a smuggler group, and so she joined in with them. So and so obviously she was a dark side user. She was very powerful. So with that said, in that aspect, I kind of see her in the Mara Jade slot just because she's a dark side user. She's kind of uncomfortable, like you said, Andrew, around just about everybody, other than Balan, of course, her master. And she seems to be. It looks like she's going to join forces with the red guys. I don't know I forget what they were called. Forgive me for that. But she seems to be joining forces with them, and that's almost like Mara joining with Talon Card's group. You know what I'm saying? And she doesn't come to the light side until she meets Luke Skywalker, and she's forced to work with Luke Skywalker. So those are the parallels that I could see with Shin. Shin could be placed in that same type of atmosphere. She's working with these guys, and then all of a sudden she's forced to work with Ahsoka, and then starts to come over to the light side. That's the only way I can see her plugged into the Mara Jade slot.
I think your Mara Jade parallel theory sucks.
Wow.
No, I'm just kidding. I'm teasing. I don't agree with those who say, oh, it's this way to get Mara Jade, because I don't think everything's connected. Plus, I think that takes away from the really cool aspect of the Shin Hottie character.
Okay.
Here's why.
Well, now to be fair, I really don't want Shin to be Mara Jade. I want Mara Jade to be Mara Jade.
Right. Agreed.
Tell the truth.
Well, who was it? I guess it was Star Wars Theory had made a whole comment about the two wolves that they were riding on when they rode out of the mountain or from the mother's stronghold. He was on a gray wolf. She was on a white wolf. Right. And something about the name of Balan Skoll was one who chases after the sun, or these two wolves that chase after the sun. Is that right?
Yes. I watched one he did this morning, or what he did yesterday. I don't know. He did it in the last couple days anyway. And he talks about that, and that was part of his theory of why Balan could possibly be the replacement of the sun, because he is chasing the sun. It's like a Greek mythology that Balan always chases after the sun, and then the other wolf always chases after the moon. So I'm not sure how that plays in so much, but the sun idea, it's interesting. And I can see Dave Filoni playing with Greek mythology. He's just that type. He likes that kind of stuff, and he likes to get really deep. So, that's a possibility. That's a very good possibility.
I think because of all that, it's such a unique character, and not everything has to be connected. I think I talked a little bit about that last week, that let's enjoy some of these characters for who they are. I think Balan Skoll is the most unique character in the Disney Plus series.
Agreed.
That we have of the Star Wars series that we've gotten so far. Not saying there weren't interesting characters. That's not what I mean. But he's the most
especially not that Shin Hottie girl.
I think he's the most interesting character that Disney has given us, even with the movies and everything else. I mean, some of the older characters, I wouldn't put him there, but all the new characters. I mean, they just every time he's on screen, you just want to know more and more and more.
Yes,
I totally agree with you there. I mean, and I haven't had a Disney character hit me like that. Not one. Oh, sorry, it's Norris. Okay.
Because I'm pretty sure
I don't think her microphone's on, Mike.
I don't mind. It's doing a thing again.
I hear her echo through into your microphone, but I don't hear Megan.
Yeah, I don't know how did we fix that last time?
I don't know.
I don't know either.
Well, just go ahead. Anyway. Go ahead, Megan. Go ahead and talk. And Mike, I may need you to restate what she's saying.
I'm pretty sure they're Fenrir's children.
You think
that is correct?
I think
Fenrir's
Skoll
children.
And Hottie are Fenrir's children.
Okay.
Yeah, she's right.
Steven, does my microphone sound weird?
No, yours doesn't.
Huh. Because I know I had it set differently last time, and that's what threw it off, but I don't know if that's what's going on. Anyway, go ahead, and I'll see if I can go into my settings here.
Oh, it's fine. So, Andrew, let me ask you this: with Shin, what is it you think is going to happen with Shin? How do you see, based upon some of this different lore and where riding the White Wolf and kind of her role and who she is? What do you like best about her? Where do you think she's headed?
I think, she definitely hesitated when Ahsoka reached out to her. It might have been brief, but she definitely considered it, I think, to let go and join her.
Okay.
And so I think that there's conflict. I think Balan abandoning her in her mind really made her question everything. And she's questioned why they were there to begin with, with different episodes. And I can't remember which episode it was, but she was talking about how they didn't seem like they were getting what they thought they were going to get in her mind. And so I think there's a chance she could switch, but I don't know. She just seems like the type that would as she grows stronger in the dark side, she could really be a big threat. And I don't know if she could, considering I don't know what they're going to do with Balan. Could she end up taking over the main dark side user in the Filoni series into the movie? Maybe, because I thought originally it was going to be Balan, but I don't know. We'll be watching her career with great interest.
Well played. I love it.
That was good.
That was a quote from
like she wants to belong, And that's what I thought at the end when she was going to that tribe. Like, she could have been off by herself, but she didn't want to be alone on that planet. And so that was interesting too.
Well, and I think she does need somebody. You know, she can't just be on her own. I don't think she's ready for that. Honestly, she's not quite strong enough in the Force to just be off on her own at this point. So, I think she needs that group.
One of the most intriguing things I think that Balan said, he trained her to be more, and I want to know more what that means. And that, I think that leads into I'm curious about the whole witch theory that you said, that she's part witch, possibly, maybe, and all. So why do you say she's part witch?
Well, just her fear of the witches themselves. You know how sometimes people fear things that they themselves are.
Mm-hmm.
So I just have this theory that she fears them so much because she's actually part witch.
So maybe Balan Skoll and Mother Townsend got busy.
Oh no!
I'm just kidding.
Well, I don't think she's Balan's daughter. I wasn't going there. They got busy. Oh, I love that line from The Incredibles. That's
great. Right. That's exactly where it came from.
Incredibles is one of the best Disney animated films.
Oh my
ever.
Goodness, yeah.
Great.
They don't make them like they used to.
Yeah, that line was in there too, wasn't it? That's so funny. But yeah, I think she's part Night Sister, and that's why she fears them so much. And she just doesn't want to become what they are.
Mm-hmm.
And maybe that's actually the light side coming out in her, that she fears them so much that she doesn't want to become them. Maybe that's where the influence of the light will come in. Just theories I'm throwing around.
No,
you know what I would love to see, I don't know if they'll do it, but I would love to see a Tales of the Jedi where they do those things where we see Balan when he was young, then middle, and then like the last one would be where he finds Shin. And I mean, look, they could. I mean, like, what were those episodes? 8 minutes, 5 minutes?
Yeah.
They could do a lot in 3 little arcs and fill in so many gaps. And I think people would watch those episodes now. You know, I think a lot of people went back and watched the Ahsoka episodes from Tales of the Jedi. So I hope they do something.
Are you giving Disney permission to use that idea then?
Yeah, just
you heard it here first.
You heard it up with the others. I'll put that letter up with the others from the.
Right. Oh gosh,
that's awesome. I
would love just a Balan novel, comic, whatever. Just give us something to fill in some of these gaps.
Agreed. I want a Balan. I want more Balan stories, you know, and whether that be novels, comic books, or what, I want it. Or for that matter, like you said, animated. I'll take some animation stories on him just so we can find out who this guy is. And, you know, he's intriguing. He really is. And to me, Shin, I like her, but without Balan, I'm not as interested in Shin, you know. I know.
What?
Are you saying she's another pathetic life form?
Yeah, kind of. Master, something tells me we picked up another pathetic life form.
I love the Shin and Balan dynamic. I love they are intriguing. They're great. And I'm just looking forward to see. I'm looking forward to Ahsoka season 2, hands down.
But Balan just threw her away.
Well, that's shocking.
That did me too.
That was out of left field for me.
Well, I
personally.
mean, it didn't at the same time, because I did tell my wife, you know, I says, because I felt that their intentions were different. Because he said, you know, I have a greater purpose, where she kept craving the power. So, I mean, there was part of me that wasn't totally shocked, because, I felt he got to a point where, yeah, okay, she's craving the power too much. We have to separate. Mm-hmm. But at the same time, I didn't expect it then,
Mm-hmm.
I would have expected something else to lead up to that, to drive a wedge between them.
Yeah, I don't know if there's a wedge between them, but they did do a good job of setting up, saying, just as you said, because when you said this, they had different paths. That, like, she wanted power. He, as a mentor, realized, hey, if this is where you want to go, and this is what you want, it's time to let you go, let you fly on your own. If that's where you need, because that's where you'll find it. For me, this is where I'm headed. Right. And so I have a different purpose now. So I don't know, or but I do find it intriguing.
It's almost like Obi-Wan and Luke on the Death Star, when Obi-Wan's like, I have to go face Darth Vader, and Luke's like, I'm coming with you. And he goes, no, your destiny lies on a different path than mine. I have to fulfill
nice
this.
Parallel. Okay.
Right. So I almost look at Balan and Shin in that same way as Obi-Wan and Luke Skywalker.
Mm-hmm.
I kind of wonder too, did Balan, whatever the feeling he's got, does he know he's not going to survive, and he didn't want Shin to come with him because he didn't want her to
that would be another parallel to it. That's good. I didn't even think about that.
Things that make you go,
How about, let's see. How about when Ahsoka wasn't left alone? Oh, yes. I did enjoy that. That was, thank you for the reminder. So Ahsoka kind of gave this whole story about her and Anakin, and how Anakin never left her side, and he always had her back and everything. And then you have Sabine and Ahsoka, and Ahsoka tells Sabine, go, I have to finish this. And then you have the scene where Sabine throws Ezra onto the Star Destroyer, and then Ezra is supposed to help pull Sabine onto the Star Destroyer. And I was like, is she really going to go? Is she really going to leave Ahsoka? Even after that whole, spew of, a master doesn't leave the apprentice.
Yeah,
and
that whole monologue.
Right. And I know in this case, Sabine is the apprentice, but still, you don't leave. And then she shows up, and I was like, oh, good. I liked that moment. I thought it was a nice moment that she stuck with Ahsoka and fought it out. So yeah, good reminder there.
Yep. So let's talk about what you didn't like real quick, because you said you didn't like the whole Force thing for Sabine, right? So help me understand that. Give me your story.
Well, not to be cliche, but the whole thing is forced.
But I see what you did there.
It's just, okay. I never felt in Rebels that we got, any inclination that Sabine was actually Force sensitive. And it drives me crazy, because now all of a sudden you get these pieced together thing of, well, now we did see Sabine and Ahsoka at the end of Rebels, like they were leaving, they were going to find Ezra, so on and so forth. And then we get that same scene repeated in this. So there's like this piece that's missing in between there, where supposedly Ahsoka takes Sabine on as an apprentice, and I just don't get why. It doesn't click in my head why Sabine. And I know there's the whole thing of, well, it just makes it to where anybody can have the Force. I don't like that.
Yeah, here's what your wife said. I love this. You get the Force. You get the Force.
Right, exactly. Exactly. I don't want to live in a Star Wars universe where everybody can have the Force. I don't like that. Now, I loved what's his face in Rogue One. Gosh.
Chirrut.
Man. Chirrut, yeah. I love Chirrut, and because he believed in the Force, he had it was almost a religion to him, is what it was. And he almost felt like he had the Force in some way, but at the same time, he was not Luke Skywalker. He was not Anakin. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
I like it in that sense that people can follow it and get a, I don't know. Yeah, some kind of taste of it, so on and so forth, but not necessarily be a Force user. And I think it's more interesting when you have people who have the special abilities and they're the ones who are very strong in the Force, that kind of thing. But this whole you get the Force and you get the Force, I'm not fond of this idea. I just don't like it. It's to me, it waters it down. You know what I mean?
Okay. Sure.
Again,
sure.
If everyone is Superman, then we don't have a Superman.
Dude, this is like we're doing all kinds of Incredibles movie references. If everyone's super or if everyone's special, then no one is, or something like that. Yeah. Interesting. Right. Interesting. I personally I wanted Sabine just to be an incredible skilled warrior. She's Mandalorian.
Agreed.
And then all of a sudden, now that she was able to pull the lightsaber to her, then she can force push someone. I'm like, oh man, that's quick. I don't know where I'm at with it. I'm not comfortable with it. I think that's the problem. I haven't accepted that that's where we're going with it. So I do agree with you. I do find it awkward kind of a thing.
So Andrew, how do you feel on Sabine and the Force, and where are you at with this?
That was during the first viewing. That was something I wrestled with a little bit, and it didn't bother me in the second viewing.
Okay.
Okay.
I saw a lot of comparisons to Luke because when we first met Luke, there's no signs of the Force, and when he first shows up in A New Hope and everything, but by the end, it was starting to grow a little bit, and then we had the callback to Empire when she pulled the lightsaber. I have a theory. I'm interested to see what happens if they make it off the planet. I think that Force powers are enhanced on that planet, and that's why when Yu Wang said, that she was at the bottom of the list, but on that planet, maybe 1% is a 25% there. I don't know. It would make sense.
Kind of like when you're on the moon, you can jump further.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay.
Right. Well, I will say
that's an interesting theory. I like
in the Mortis trilogy on the planet that they're saying that it is a very Force sensitive planet. The Force was very strong on that planet.
Okay. I like that theory. So it'll be interesting to see what happens to Sabine once they come off of that. Now, the only thing that could crush her also, because she's already been told by Huang that she's the least Force sensitive person he's ever met, which actually I thought was great. I loved, and then she has that moment where she's watching Huang and listening to Huang and Ezra, and Huang compliments Ezra, going, "Oh, you must have been a very good student." And that just ticked her off, and she just takes off.
Yeah.
So, all of a sudden she starts showing abilities in the Force that are pretty intense. Draw the lightsaber to her, fight right alongside Ahsoka and be almost to Ahsoka's level, so on and so forth. And then all of a sudden she goes off and she doesn't have that again. I think that could crush her. I think that could really hurt her. So I don't know. We'll see. But I like the idea of the planet enhancing the Force abilities. I think that's a very interesting idea. And maybe we get some time still on this planet before they get off, where her and Ahsoka are training, and maybe with her training and the advancement of the Force there, maybe that helps her once she's outside of it. And I don't know, maybe that'll help ease my mind a little bit.
Because
go ahead.
When we saw her try to use the Force the last time in the the regular galaxy, she couldn't even move a cup.
Right.
But as soon as she gets there, so that makes.
I like that.
Now it could also be, there's the kind of parental, a mother, might be able to do something incredibly, some incredible strength feats to save their child. We could be looking at a situation like that where, where Sabine sees Ahsoka in trouble, she considers her master, and then all of a sudden she's enhanced by that too. I kind of wondered if that was it, but I like the planet idea better, just because I think that plays in really well with the whole Mortis trilogy and everything. That's a good theory. That works. I think it works anyway. So good one, Andrew.
Nice.
Team Shin.
Yeah, that's right. Shin Hottie. How many jokes did we hear about Shin Hottie being a hottie?
many memes.
Right. I will say this. Let me say this about the whole series. I enjoyed the whole series. It is my favorite of the Star Wars Disney Plus era. Brenna, much more better Cheers. Theory. Cheers. Mm-hmm. So I will say this. I like it as a whole, and I am looking forward to seeing more about this planet. The planet looks more desolate now, which is another reason I think the sun is taking over. I am looking forward to us doing a Mortis trilogy episode so we can go more into this lore.
Oh yeah.
And all.
I think that's a great idea.
And that's your idea. I like it. So I may have to see if I can get some pictures. I want to go back to that first or second episode where we see the image of the bat creature and really take a look at that compared to the Mortis trilogy. We'll talk about that too. Because I think he's still alive. So but I like that. But as a whole, introducing the Mortis trilogy into Ahsoka is great. I did not like at the beginning the attitude or the character of Ahsoka being so blah.
Yeah.
But then,
you mean at the beginning of the season, right?
Yes, beginning of the season. Right. But then seeing the change in her character and becoming, rather than Ahsoka the Gray, we have Ahsoka the White. And I have enjoyed that. Kind of like
she was even forgiving of Sabine, even though she told Sabine destroy the map. So,
yep.
And she knew what Sabine did. And she was even forgiving of her there. And I thought that was very Ahsoka, Clone Wars Ahsoka like.
Yes. Yes. So. Agreed. Yeah. Just the character development, the arc, I guess it's called, guess it's the arc, the character arc of Ahsoka. It was really good in seeing what she's become. So yes. Now, one last thing that I want to get off my plate is you saw Anakin. Yay! As a Force ghost.
Yes,
but did you think that Ahsoka saw him or no? Or was Ahsoka talking with him or?
I think Ahsoka saw him.
Okay.
I mean, let's go back to Return of the Jedi. Did Luke see Anakin, Obi-Wan, and Yoda?
Oh, good call. Did. Right.
I don't think this is any different. I think Ahsoka saw him. The bigger question is, what did Sabine see? Because
she didn't see anything.
Well, she stopped, and she's like, "What?"
She sensed him, but she didn't see him. I don't think.
Okay,
that's what I thought. I thought she could tell that something Force power-wise was there, but she couldn't see it. And I think that made Ahsoka smile too. That not only she saw Anakin, but that Sabine was able to sense Anakin.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Now I have one more question. Do you guys think that Morgan Elsbeth is officially dead?
I think we could see her ghost on that planet only. I think, that could.
Oh, okay. I like that. I like that.
I would like to see more of her in this shadow person or whatever, the gift of shadow or whatever. I was like, ooh, what is this? Ooh, it's kind of like becoming a Jedi Knight, but in the sisterhood, kind of a thing. And I was
okay.
Yeah. But it was like, yay. Okay. Here she is. And then all of a sudden she's dead. I was like, really? I was kind of looking forward to that. So, that based upon that being so quick, it would be interesting if we get to see her again, if there's more to it. I'm intrigued. That's a good question.
Well,
that's a good question.
My thinking is I really like the character. I thought she was fantastic.
Mm-hmm.
Would I like to see more of her? Of course I would like to see more of her because she was a great character. On the other hand, Star Wars is becoming a very bad trope. It's this person's dead, but they're not really dead, or blah blah blah. I think it cheapens her character if you bring her back. And personally, I'd like her to stay dead just because of that.
Stay dead already. No, I'm just kidding.
Well, it's true. I mean, come on. How many of them have we had brought back? And I love Darth Maul. Darth Maul is a favorite character of mine, but, truth be told, he should not have come back. And I know that's George Lucas's doing right there. The whole thing was George Lucas's doing. I'm going to kill this. We're going to kill this guy. They're not going to bring him back like they did Boba Fett. Hey, Dave, do you think that we could bring back Darth Maul? I mean, yes, that was George's fault, and I love having Darth Maul back. In fact, I wouldn't mind seeing him come back in somewhere. I think it would be great. But on the other hand, it has just become a trope in Star Wars where these characters don't actually die, and it'd be nice if one actually died and they died. Stay dead. So I do think she is dead. I think we saw the green smoke come from her and everything. I think that kind of represented a finality to her.
Oh, I missed that.
Yeah.
I missed that. Oh, yeah, okay.
So I think she really is dead. And I did love that they used Mother Talzin's sword.
Yes.
That was awesome. That was so cool. So if anyone does not realize it, Mother Talzin was one of the Night Sisters. She was like the most powerful Night Sister in Clone Wars. And at one point she battles Mace Windu, and she conjures up that sword to battle Mace Windu with. So that's exactly where the sword came from. And that was pretty cool. It was a neat callback to the Clone Wars. I enjoyed that.
Okay.
And I think that's all I got to say about that.
That's all I got to say about that. Andrew, anything else you'd like to share?
One thing real quick. If you haven't read it yet, definitely check out the Darth Maul Son of Dathomir comic, because it's got some really good stuff in it, especially since we're headed back to Dathomir.
That's Thrawn. True. Good point.
Really cool. I'm interested to see if Mother Talzin does come back somehow, because, being the most powerful witch, I can't wait to see what's in those casket things. That's going to be a lot of fun. I mean, we're going to have the army of the witches, and that's going to be wild. I can't wait to see what they do. And I'm really interested to see, how much is this going to take place in another season, and how much is going to take place in a movie? Because, because there's still some gaps they need to fill in before they get to the movie. I think that because there's been a lot of speculations is there going to be a second season? I think there has to be, just because there's you can't put that much, or do they give Dave a trilogy of movies to tell the story?
Oh, There's so many possibilities. Now, Emergency, awesome. I watched him this morning. Again, I don't know where he gets his information, but he claims that Filoni and Favreau are already working on season 2 of Ahsoka. Now, I haven't seen any official announcement of that, but I do think that guy's got some insider info, and I think he might be on the right track. We could be getting some decent information from him. So it sounds like Ahsoka 2 is in the works. Question is, when are they doing Mandalorian 4? Because that's supposed to play into this.
Skeleton Crew does too, right?
Now, see, I've heard rumors of that, but I don't know, because Skeleton Crew doesn't have any of the original characters, or for that matter, any of the characters that have been in the Disney Plus series. So I have no idea what they're doing with that.
I think that's going to tie into the movie, but I don't know if it's going to tie into some of the shows. I mean, they might. I mean, who knows? Zeb might show up, but
sure.
And help them out at some point.
Gotcha. Okay.
That was a disappointment of mine. Zeb never showed up.
Yep.
I was so disappointed that Zeb never showed up. You know, you got the model. Why don't you? He's part of the Rebels. I don't understand why he didn't show up. I wanted Zeb.
I was hoping he would show up in like an end credit scene or something, and like Ezra telling him or something about Ahsoka and Sabine being stranded there. And then I thought it'd be really cool if he said, "I know a guy that can help us," and then you hear the Mandalorian music, da-dum. Season 4.
Oh, then we could have a connection to Mandalorian. That would be awesome. I like that. That's a good theory.
They put Grogu looking at those Purrgil for a reason. I still think there's something behind that. So
yeah, yep.
You think we're going to see the Purrgil again?
I think with Grogu looking at him the way he did, I just wonder, like, is Ezra and Grogu going to go, or are they going to get on a Purrgil and go get Ahsoka and Sabine? That could be interesting.
Well, Ahsoka does know Mando. She's met Mando, and yeah, that's. I mean, there's been talk. There's been some theories thrown around that since we're going to Dathomir, they're going to raise the witches. That's what's in the caskets. That this is what's believed. Okay. That the witches are what's in the caskets. They're going to raise the caskets on Dathomir. The Mandalorians are going to get wind of this, and we're going to get kind of this war between the Mandalorians and the witches of Dathomir, which could be fantastic, honestly. I love Mandalorians, and I love the Mandalorian season, the series. So yeah, if we're gearing up to a Mando war, I'm in for that. Oh,
I had this vision this morning of like fighting the witches, and I could see Ahsoka and Sabine, Jason and Ezra, because I think Jason's going to be Ezra's apprentice. I think you could see Luke and Ben, just like all 6 Jedi with lightsabers drawn, ready to go. That would be like the end game, of Filoni's movie. That would be pretty cool.
Well, and I think somewhere Luke has to come back into this, especially if we're doing the quote unquote heir to the Empire, and we have the return of the Empire. You can't have the return of the Empire without Luke Skywalker. He has to be in that fight, and we know he's around. Luke is not going to stay out of this fight, if it's happening. So I think we have to have Luke. I think at some point we have to have Princess Leia, and I think at some point we have to have Han Solo. I am hopeful, and I'm believing Dave Filoni is going to give us the trilogy that we wanted. We're going to get the scene with the 3 of them being reunited, and that'll probably happen in the movie if it does happen anywhere. And I want to see Luke's academy. I want to see his academy. So much good stuff can come out of this.
Yeah.
I believe it will with Dave. I mean, I really do. If they let him stick to his plan and don't get too involved, I think it will end where if you don't want to watch the sequel trilogy again, you don't have to. You got some sequels. Because I think, and then they could put something in the movie where it teases the Emperor's return. but like if you wanted to cut it off after Filoni's movie and have episodes 1 through that, I could see Dave doing that. And
well, Filoni did have a connection because he did have Sabine say, "Oh yeah, and it's rumored that the Emperor is dead." They left it very open-ended, to play into the sequel trilogy and such. So it's not like he's, everyone's like, "Oh well, Dave's writing off the sequel trilogy," and I don't believe he is at all. I think he's actually connecting dots is what he's doing, but I think he's doing it in a way to enhance it and make it better per se.
What they did with the Clone Wars. I mean, there's a lot of people that said that they love or like the prequels more now because of it. So.
I agree with that. I believe the Clone Wars enhanced the prequels a lot. Honestly, if you don't like the prequels, I highly recommend watching the Clone Wars. I also highly recommend reading Darth Plagueis.
Yes,
Darth Plagueis is fantastic, and it really, really helps the Phantom Menace. But I enjoy the Phantom Menace. I think it's a good movie.
Well, I love the prequels.
I know where you got that one.
Yeah, I do too.
Very cool.
All right.
Well done. Anything else?
I can't wait for Shin season 2.
Yeah. Open the door and he walked right through it. Yeah.
I do believe we'll probably see more of Shin in season 2 than we did in 1. I think she has a bigger story.
Yeah, I think she has a bigger role to play. And the only reason I say that is because I remember how Ahsoka got introduced. I'm like, what? But the character arc of Ahsoka overall through Clone Wars, from the movie through the series and through Mandalorian and all those, it's just been phenomenal. And I'm hoping that we have that with Shin as well, because I think there's just so intriguing. We've got this Jedi that's neither almost Sith, but not quite, and not gray Jedi by any stretch of the imagination, kind of a thing. So what if she is to be more? I'm curious about that. Very much so.
Oh, how about this? What if Shin and Luke get together like Luke and Mara Jade did, and Ben Solo kills Shin? That would make me go live on an island by myself and away from everybody. I mean,
that was my theory on Mara Jade, how we could bring Mara Jade in, and then Mara Jade gets killed off, and that's what makes Luke into curmudgeon or Jake Skywalker.
Right.
I think that makes a lot of sense.
I stick to that theory. I think it's great. I think it would work. And yeah, Disney, pay attention.
We know you're listening.
That's right. I'll give you that idea for free, just so we get it done. You don't even have to pay me for that one.
That's funny. That's funny.
If I can get that storyline, I'd be happy to just, I'll give that one to them. They can have that one. Anyway.
Right on.
So if we do a Mortis trilogy, Andrew, you want to come back for that?
Sure. Yeah. If everything works out. I've been wanting to rewatch it because, how many people, when you talk about it online with people like, it's not going to tie into that. That's old stuff. And I'm like, I don't know. And then I'm like, that was my fist pumping, like, yes. Because I was like, I was right.
Yeah.
And,
yep.
And it's just, like I said, it's a great callback to George. And, I agree. I remember hearing, I remember Dave talking about it and saying like that meant a lot to George, that arc. So, I'm glad they did it, and I can't wait to see where it goes. In Filoni, I trust. So
in Filoni, we trust. Yeah. I love it.
Awesome. Well, hey, everybody. Thanks so much for joining us here on Two Geeks and a Microphone. Just want to share one thing real quick with you. Is that if you want to check us out, please check out our website at www.2geeksmic.com, the number 2geeksmic.com. There is the hub for all things Two Geeks. So you can get to our Ko-fi page, which is where you can support us. We've got a $1, $2, and $3 tiers. We keep it minimal, but we're kind of excited about just all just the network that we've created and the supports that we've got. So ko-fi.com/2geeks, or you can even check out our link to our page now.
Oh, no.
That's the old one, right?
That's the old one.
That's the old one. I'm going to take that off, everybody. Sorry. Whoops.
So the new link is 2geeksmikemerch.com.
It is
I'm really excited. Megan and I worked hard to get that.
2geeksmike.merch.
No, 2geeksmikemerch. MERCH.
Merch.com. This here.
That's it. You got it.
Right on. 2geeksmikemerch.com. So you can check us out on there. Pretty excited just about some new stuff that we've got coming up. And then also I want to encourage you, if you want to reach out to us, our email is show@2geeksmike.com as well. All right. Anything else, Mr. Mike?
Yeah, with that said, please go. Oops, I hit the wrong one. Please go like and subscribe to us on Facebook and YouTube. I always lose the big one. Anyway, go over and like us on Facebook and YouTube. I'm extremely active on Facebook. Andrew knows that. Andrew and I go back and forth on Facebook quite a bit. But yeah, go like us there. Go follow us on YouTube so you can get notifications every time we go live. We go live every Saturday morning at 9 a.m. Central Standard Time. You do the math on the rest. And, thank you, Megan. There is our little graphic for both Facebook and YouTube. And make sure and hit the little bell that gives you notifications for YouTube also. And you can find Andrew Staples, or the president of the Shin Hottie fan club, over at the Facebook group, The Escape Pod, which is a fantastically fun Star Wars group. Very positive Star Wars group. We try to stay positive in there. And then, Andrew, you also have a Marvel and DC side to that too, don't you?
Yeah, I need to start promoting that a little bit more since we have Loki season 2 going on, but I'll share a link in that. And I think there's some other Escape Pod Facebook groups, but look for the one that's got a Balan and Shin cover photo, and that'll be the one that we have a lot of fun there. It's been just been a blast. I've loved this show. Love talking with all the fans about it, and just great time to be a Star Wars fan.
Yes, agreed.
Absolutely.
All right. That's all I got, Steven. You?
That's all I got.
All right.
Thank you guys for having me.
Yes, thank you for joining us.
Yep.
And we look forward to having you back. All right. So with that said, over and out, and may the Force be with you always.
Thank you for joining us today on the Two Geeks and a Microphone podcast. Tune in next week when we will have more news and reviews. Until then,
may the Force be with you.